Keeping a client engaged for a day is easy, but keeping them emotionally hooked for weeks or even months is where most people fail. The mistake many make is focusing only on keeping conversations going, instead of creating a long-term emotional connection that makes them keep coming back. Today, I'll show you exactly how to make a client stay hooked, not just for a short time, but for the long run. The first step is building emotional habits. When a client gets used to talking to you every day, their brain starts associating you with a routine, and once something becomes a habit, it's harder to let go. The trick is to get them used to hearing from you at certain times. If they always see your message in the morning or before bed, their brain starts expecting it, and when the expectation is there, they feel something is missing if they don't get it. But the key is not making it too predictable. If they feel like they always know when you'll message, they stop valuing it as much. The secret is to keep the habit but vary the rhythm slightly. Sometimes you text early, sometimes later, sometimes short, sometimes engaging. This creates subconscious anticipation, where their brain is waiting for your message without even realizing it. The second step is giving them moments to miss you. If you are always available, always responding instantly, and always there, they won't feel your absence. The trick is to occasionally pull back just slightly without completely disappearing. When you step away for a bit, their brain notices your absence, and when they notice, they start thinking about you more. A powerful way to do this is the push-pull technique. When a conversation is going well, end it slightly early. Instead of letting it fade out naturally, say, "I like talking to you, but I have to go, I'll catch up with you later." This makes them feel the absence of the conversation, rather than waiting until it dies out. Their mind stays engaged, wondering when the next moment will happen. Next, attach emotions to your presence. If your conversations are just neutral or surface level, they won't feel anything strong about you. But if you create emotional highs, deep talks, playful teasing, inside jokes, unexpected statements, they will associate you with strong emotions. And the stronger the emotions attached to you, the harder it is for them to let go. The trick is to rotate between different emotional energies. Some moments are light and playful, some moments are deep and reflective, some moments are challenging and teasing. This emotional variety keeps them engaged because it makes them feel like they never fully know what's next, which makes their brain stay locked on you. Now let's talk about the power of earned validation. If you always compliment them, always validate them, they will stop valuing your words. But if you give compliments sparingly, making them feel like they earned it, they will keep trying to impress you. Instead of saying, "You're smart," right away, wait for a moment where they actually say something interesting. Then say, "I wasn't sure at first." But you actually have a way of looking at things differently. Now they feel like they had to earn your validation, and that makes them value it more. Another way to keep a client hooked is creating unfinished conversations. If every conversation feels complete, they won't feel the need to continue later. The trick is to leave conversations slightly open-ended. Instead of just saying, "Talk later," say, "I'll tell you something interesting next time." Now their brain keeps thinking about what's next, and that keeps them engaged. A technique that works extremely well is getting them to invest in you. If you do all the talking, all the engaging, all the effort, they won't feel like they are part of the connection. But if you get them to invest in the conversation, to open up, to share, to ask about you, then they start feeling like they have something to protect. The more they invest, the harder it is for them to walk away. The way to do this is to reward them when they engage. If they share something about themselves instead of just replying, acknowledge it in a meaningful way. Say something like, "I like how you think. It's rare to find people who actually have something real to say." Now they feel like their effort was noticed, which makes them want to invest more. One of the biggest mistakes that makes a client lose interest is predictability. If every conversation feels exactly the same, they stop feeling excitement. The trick is to change the rhythm slightly. Some days be playful, other days be deep, sometimes be mysterious, sometimes tease them. When they never fully know what to expect, their brain keeps paying attention to you. One final technique is letting them feel like they are working to keep you engaged. If a client ever feels like they completely have you, they stop valuing the connection. But if they feel like they still have to put in effort, they stay locked in. The trick is to sometimes shift slightly, be warm one day, slightly distant another, then warm again. This creates an emotional loop that keeps them hooked. Finally, never let a conversation feel like it's fully complete. If the last thing they hear from you is neutral or unmemorable, they won't feel the need to continue later. But if you say, "I like how you see things. You make conversations different. Let's continue this soon," now they feel like the conversation is still open and their mind stays engaged with you. Here's the full strategy to keep a client hooked long-term. Build emotional habits so they expect to hear from you. Use push-pull moments so they feel your absence. Attach strong emotions to your presence so they associate you with excitement. Use earned validation so they crave your approval. Leave conversations open-ended so they keep thinking about you. Let them invest in you so they feel like they have something to protect. Change the rhythm slightly so they stay engaged. Make them feel like they are working to keep you interested. Once you master this, clients won't just respond. They will feel a long-term emotional connection. And once they feel connected, they won't want to lose it. If you want advanced persuasion techniques and emotional control strategies, I break everything down inside my private group. If you're serious about mastering this, the link is in the description.